Okay, Leo, you're the focus of what brought you two together, but the challenge is the Ten of Swords. Okay, now I feel like it's not realistically. It's yes, obviously it has a lot to do with everybody being there themselves. King of Wands being Leo, of course, doesn't necessarily mean that. It could mean that everyone's, thirst for life is what kind of brought them together. But the thing that's keeping each other, not to keep each other apart, but more of like the challenges that you both are facing, has a lot to do with moving forward, healing from a situation that was greatly devastating. Now, the underlying energy is the Ten of Pentacles, which is about commitment. Underneath that, you have the World. Yeah, something ended, right? And it's hard to see it as a success, but the Wheel of the Worlds usually indicates a situation in where there was a completion that had a certain benefit to it. And it may be hard to see right now because I feel like the situation brought you closer and more, brought you back to yourself in a very interesting way. But because of that Ten of Swords, it still hurts. It still was painful. But I feel like there's something to overcome with that because there's a greater gift behind the shock. And I know it's hard to say, and it's probably really, it's really hard to see at this moment. But so there's always something always happens for a reason, right? And I feel like that's why Make the Effort is the card that comes up for Romance Angels, because something bad happened. Somebody's not taking action. Now, it is for good reason, right? No blame, no nothing. There's a good reason for why this person isn't taking action. But is it something that they should do if they want something else? We will see. Now, this is the typical side that I read for my clients. So this would be you, Leo, how I would default read it. But if you guys don't resonate with this side and you resonate more with that side, you feel free to go ahead and switch sides. Now, how you guys are approaching the relationship, the mind portion of this relationship, the mentality going into this is the Three of Cups. Now, for some of you guys, I feel like you guys really want to reconnect with someone, or reconnect with friends, or maybe celebrate some sort of connection that you have with an individual. The Three of Cups can indicate to you're just feeling very celebratory and very happy, or your mind is in a very, lighthearted and good place somewhat, or you're surrounded by people that support you and you feel supported yourself. Like, I feel like you guys either are supporting others and people are supporting you. It's a kind of good thing. And you guys may also be surrounded by family, so you guys have a lot of love around you at this moment, potentially, okay? Or it could be the other person. But the other person on this side, however, is the Seven of Pentacles. This kind of is very interesting. I feel like this person's been working very hard and at something, and I feel like they're just kind of on the fence of what to do, how to move forward from where they are, because of course they may have reached a peak of a situation temporarily that may not require their a lot of effort from them at this moment. I think this person's also contemplating whether or not the effort is worth, putting into something if they're not truly invested in it. Now, how this person is being displayed is the Four of Swords. They're healing, they're taking steps back, they're resting, they're, taking some time out. And I feel like this person, maybe, just trying to relax, trying not to, come up with anything serious. The Ten of Pentacles is a very serious card in regards to commitment. And I feel like that's the thing, right? Something may have ended and like you're going straight to commitment here. And I think that's the thing. Like, I think somebody may be thinking that's a little too fast. Some of you guys could be, dealing with someone here with that Four of Swords that's really trying to figure out, how to move on past the situation that they've gone through that was a Ten of Pentacles situation. That was security, filled with security, family support, all that greatness, right? Or they felt like they had a sense of stability, and it's definitely hit a bit of a really serious end, right? A very shocking ending. And you guys kind of come in, or the other person, right, with the Page of Wands. There is some sort of spark of passion. I like that, right? The Three of Cups. There's some sort of like support that you're feeling, or some sort of, so I think that you guys are reconnected with your ex here. Somebody's not sure if they want to put in the effort or not, and so therefore they're kind of taking time to really think it through and really figure that out. But I feel like this is like, yeah, let's go into it. There's a lot of like, let's take a chance, let's take a look. But there's a lighthearted energy with this. This is kind of like a little get together, nothing really serious. Let's have a couple of drinks. And I feel like this is a very dating kind of energy. I think you're really making the effort, but not truly like looking for anything specific with it. You know, you're not really keeping, well, you are looking for something specific, but it's like, it's not, you're not sure if you're necessarily comfortable with really seeking it out. Not like 100%. Like, you know, there are people around you that are, that you may be interested in perhaps, but I think that you're not necessarily going in that direction, like on purpose. Like, you are, but not really. It's like you want to see how things go. Just have lighthearted conversations, connect platonically, build friendships, and all that. You don't necessarily even want to date. I don't think, maybe for some of you guys, you just want to get to know people, see where people are coming from. You had a devastating ending too. This is both of you guys together, and you may have had it together or separately, but that Ten of Swords has affected the both of you. And that being said, I don't think you guys are like, jumping the gun, especially this person here. They're not doing any of that. But I feel like, they could be with that Knight of Swords there. We'll get to it. But the Page of Wands to me is like somebody is taking a very platonic approach to the situation, not purposely trying to look for a relationship, but they're definitely not going to turn it down per se, only because they're still healing at the same time, right? You're healing, or this person's, the other person's healing. Now, that being said, the Queen of Cups being the foundation, this is really trusting your intuition and going and healing yourself. And I feel like this is repairing that inner guidance system, that hit a really big, devastating ending that really affected you emotionally. And I feel like this is a big healing process for you, Leo, if this is not the other person. Now, I heard that the Queen of Cups, from other readers, say that the Queen of Cups is very discerning. She's good at, she's got good judgment. She usually has really good judgment, and trusting her judgment and being very wise. And that in itself is very true. And I feel like all this is coming from from the wisdom aspect of yourself, the experiences that you've gone through. You're not going to be doing the same old mess over and over again. I feel like this is the reason why you're coming at people, potential relationships or potential, partners with a platonic point of view, is because you're like, I'm not going to just go in there looking for a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. You're going to take your time with it, and you're going to figure out who truly is worthy of that cup that you have a lid on. Because you're not going to just give it to any old joker that you pass by, right? That has, that speaks well, talks well, looks well, and kind of carries himself very well nicely. You have gone through a seriously painful experience to, pretty much be like, I'm not going to take any chances with somebody that I don't really get to know and see how they are, right? You're going to have a very platonic relationship with this individual. I feel like you are making the effort here, to be honest. But it's like, that effort is what's going to heal you. It's very star-like energy, and I like that. Because the star is healing because you're putting your focus on the new star and the new aspiration and putting work into it, giving of yourself. But yeah, that's what I feel like. There's a lot of platonic-y kind of energy here, but only because you're trying to not only just, heal yourself and, learn, not learn from your mistakes, but do things differently about how you approach relationships from here on out, but also, to love yourself, give yourself compassion, ease into it, and however, this person is coming from, the reason why this person is taking it slow is because probably they charged in too fast. And the situation too, I feel like this person really fought for what it is that they're trying to figure out, whether or not this is something they really want to put effort and time into. This Ten of Swords is something that affected them as well. So whatever this was, if this isn't this relationship, the reason why they're on the fence like this has to do with what ended in the past. I feel like it's like this person may have moved too fast, or someone else has moved too fast before, and they're taking some time out to really think things through. But this is what could lead to some serious commitment here. This is a real commitment to see how real things will play out, because nobody's trying to make it work immediately. This is time that's given to it. The passion is there. The King of Wands shows that. Someone's very confident. There's like this, this awareness of who they are. Everybody's very clear in their individuality and their authenticity, what makes them unique and separates them from everyone else. And the fact that they get along truly and genuinely, that's the crazy cool thing about it, is that you both get together and you guys connect and gel so well. But the thing that's, the hard thing is in regards to moving forward with the relationship, perhaps, like, again, if this is friendship, associates, co-workers, current relationship, the thing that's kind of the little bit difficult that you guys are facing right now, that's not impossible to overcome, has to do with, the healing process of the Ten of Swords. Learning to get up again, the recovery portion. That's probably the hardest part that you have to kind of overcome. And it's not really, it's not easy, but I feel like the effort from both of you guys is there. So, that being said, let's go ahead and take a look-see at your whispers of, whispers of love. And embrace your emotions. Ooh. Wow, and you guys got 2 cards, okay? Honesty is essential. So, embrace your emotions is coming up here, and it says, do not push down your feelings or judge your emotions. Big. I think, don't judge him. Be careful of that. The last thing you want to do is shoot yourself down, and you gotta be careful of that, because the healing portion is about giving yourself compassion and love. You start judging your feelings, or judging yourself, and feeling this strong passion and wanting to go fast and saying, oh, you don't be like how you were. Be careful how you communicate with yourself. That's the biggest thing, right? But embrace them. Those things are very real, and they're worth exploring, right? So in order to do, you have different ways of doing it. You don't have to do it fast. You don't have to do anything, super quick. You don't have to necessarily, move so slow either if you don't want to. It's all about how you feel and what you want to understand about yourself as well as the other person. And you also have honesty is essential to be a loving person. It is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. So I don't think y'all are lying or anything, so that's not the point. I think it's just like being transparent with one another. Being open and honest. What your intentions are. Why you're moving slow. What you guys need to do for yourself. And not necessarily for the other person, but understanding it for you. Because it don't matter what the other person thinks. It's about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And if that's a healthy approach to your for moving forward. When it comes to moving forward in relationships. And when it comes to moving forward with interacting with people. Because if you're honest with yourself, then everything's golden and gravy. And I feel like everybody's trying to gain or seek some truth with this. But be careful here, Leo, if this is you. The Page of Wands can indicate having a good time, exploring something new, and, going along with a good time. But be sure that it's not a distraction, and it's not because you're overwhelmed with emotions that need to be healed. Because if that's the case, you have to be honest about how you feel. Give honor to those emotions, and then look for how you want to feel, right? Because the only way for you to be able to know what you want to feel is by eliminating or accepting and releasing the pain, the feeling that's already there, which is that pain and the sorrow, right?